Hi everyone, it's me. Today we are talking about what every British person has in their home. But we're not asking British people. We're asking foreigners. So any British people watching, leave a comment down below. Do you agree with this assessment from foreigners? But without further ado, let's go. So non-Brits of Reddit, what do you think every British person has in their home? How about a baggy jumper? I feel personally victimized. This person just wrote crisps. Yes, please. What about a washing machine in your kitchen and possibly a fridge half the height of an American one? Absolutely 100%. Even though I am Canadian, there are so many similarities between Canada and the US, between our cultures, between our homes and all that kind of stuff. So the fridge that we have at my family home, back home in Ontario, is like 4 times the size of my fridge here. And yes, here in England, my washing machine is in the kitchen. Again, something that you have to get used to. My washing machine, I've now lived in like 4 properties. The washing machine has always been in the kitchen. I will say though, in terms of fridges, I've really thought about this. I'll be completely honest. One of the things I love about the UK is that the term walkable town actually exists. There are so many towns and villages here in the UK where you could walk to a grocery store. That is not something that I've ever had the privilege of having in Canada, or you don't really see it in North America. If you are in a big city, it's a bit different because there's public transport. But if we're talking like town to town, English town versus Canadian towns, you're not walking to the grocery store. So I honestly think where in Canada you cannot walk anywhere, and with groceries, you have to like fill up a big old fridge with a bunch of groceries because it could be like a half hour drive. You don't want to be doing that all the time. Whereas here, I could walk to the grocery store and I could stock up my very tiny fridge and it's not the end of the world. It's a short walk and I can just fill it again. And to be honest, walkable towns is something that I could absolutely rant about. Maybe that's a separate video. This person, as a non-Brit, they think all British people have tea. Yes. And this comment I absolutely love. So this person said, as a Brit who doesn't drink nor like tea, who lives with her boyfriend who also doesn't drink or like tea, I can confirm we do have a bag of Yorkshire tea as well as numerous other kinds. I've talked about on this channel before that offering tea is such a British custom. You know, you go to someone's house, even if you have a builder over who's maybe fixing something or painting something or doing something to your home, it is so natural to offer a cup of tea, even if you don't drink it. So many British homes will have tea, even if it's not for them. And I just love it. Now, this person thinks tea and biscuits, which fair. If you drink tea, I think you're more likely to also have the accompanying biscuits. If you don't drink tea, you probably still have biscuits because who doesn't want a biscuit? This non-Brit thinks separate hot and cold taps. And honestly, oh my God, I hate it. I am so grateful that this particular property has mixer taps. So it is a tap that will have both hot and cold water. I have lived at a bunch of other properties that were not so lucky, and I did have the separate hot and cold taps. And I know there is like a historical reason why British homes were built that way, but you know, in our current year, 2022, if it is it 2022, my God. In our current year, I would hope that we could maybe do away with the separate taps, because there's just, you can't win. It's either going to burn you or it's going to freeze you. There is no middle. What about things called puddings that are not puddings but are still puddings? Even though I've lived in the UK for nearly 7 years, almost, we are getting there, I still get confused with the word puddings because in North America, pudding is just like a pudding. It's like a little pot of pudding. Maybe it's butterscotch, maybe it's chocolate, but it's pudding. And here, of course, in the UK, you guys use pudding for so many different things. Of course, you have like pudding as a course, but you also have like Yorkshire puddings, which delicious. But then you have sweet puddings and you have savory puddings, and sometimes I just don't know when I'm supposed to use that word. How about pint glasses? Or more specifically, pint glasses nicked from the pub. Now, I'm very lucky that I own two pint glasses. A huge shout out to Jamie and Tony, who both sent me a pint glass to my P.O. box. My P.O. box is available on Patreon should you like to support me and get extra content. Ooh, how exciting. No worries if not, I'll cry about it later. But thank you very much to them for sending me pint glasses. Honestly, I use them all the time. A Sports Direct mug. How do they know this? I feel like this is something only British people know about, or if you've lived in the UK long enough. I had a Sports Direct mug. It was the size of my head, and let's be quite honest, I have a big head. And unfortunately, rest in peace, that mug broke, but it is to this day the largest mug I have ever seen, ever owned, ever used. It's a Sports Direct mug. Now, of course, we had a bunch of people say a kettle or an electric kettle. If you are a British person watching this, do you not have a kettle? Because I would be really surprised if you don't. Growing up in Canada, we had one kettle and it sucked. No offense to that kettle, it would take absolutely ages to boil, and I think that has something to do with the electricity differences between here and there, but kettles in North America suck. My kettle here is awesome, and I didn't think I'd ever be in a stage in my life when I'm like excited about my kettle, and yet here we are. What about some Jaffa cakes? Anybody watching, do you have some in your cupboard? We actually do not, because I don't really like them. I'm so sorry to say that out loud. I don't really like them. I don't see what the fuss is about. I don't think they're very good. The UK has way better biscuits, way better. Just so many more better ones. That little room under the stairs where Harry Potter slept. Honestly, I would kill for a cupboard right about now. This property does not have any. Not a single closet, not a single built-in wardrobe, nothing. So at this point, I wouldn't, if YouTube's listening, I wouldn't kill anybody, obviously. That is satire, but also, I'd really like a closet. What about a hot water bottle? Hold on. You mean like this hot water bottle? Now, I'll be completely honest. I hadn't seen a hot water bottle in person before. I'd only ever saw them in movies and TV. I just didn't think that they were a commonplace thing nowadays, but I actually bought this on Amazon last winter. Hashtag not sponsored. So yeah, I got this on Amazon. I mean, all the British people watching this know what a hot water bottle is, but as a foreigner, I really was not aware of this concept, but I will say there is something very nice about snugging up on the couch with a hot water bottle in the wintertime. And since apparently we're gonna have like power cuts this winter, it might be time to invest in one. What about something considered an heirloom of great importance they got from an elderly relative, but no one is brave enough to take it to Antiques Roadshow because they don't want to be told it's some knockoff or imitation thingamabob that isn't worth anything. Any Brits watching, do you have one of these mysterious heirlooms, but you're afraid it's not real? On a side note, can I just say, I love Antiques Roadshow. There's something so addictive about that show. How about heating via radiator? I don't know if you can see. There's a radiator. Yay! Radiators were something that was very new to me. They're not my favorite, I'll be completely honest. But at some point you just gotta get used to it. Joke's on you, we can't afford heating now. Another thing all Brits have, an unaffordable gas bill. If you don't laugh, you'll cry. What about brown sauce? Now, I actually don't use brown sauce. I don't cook with brown sauce. I'm sure it has a place, you know, it has its benefits. It has its moments to shine, but I'm not really comfortable using it because I don't really know like the best place to use it. So if you use brown sauce, what should I use it on or with? Like, how should I use it? I feel like I've got a lot to learn about brown sauce. And yes, it's called brown sauce. For any foreigners watching, yeah, It is literally called brown sauce. How about a bag full of many more smaller bags? Again, I feel victimized. I have a bag filled with many small bags, and I always forget my bags for life. You know, like the bags you get at the supermarket, and you're supposed to reuse them. I always forget them. I have so many at this point. I don't know what to do with them. I have a problem. And of course, something that all British people have in their homes, as according to a non-British person, British people. British people watching, did those foreigners get it right? Leave a comment down below. To be completely honest, I think it was pretty spot on. If you'd like to watch more videos, which would be totally awesome, why not watch this one where I rank British crisps on the quest to find the best one. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, bye!